I am here today to talk to you about Black men and mental health. Have you ever heard the terms, you're being too soft? That's what girls do. Boys don't cry, or my personal favorite, man up. These are terms that boys everywhere, and particularly Black boys, have heard their entire life. And it can prove to be extremely harmful to a Black boy. Why? Because it teaches Black boys that the way to be a man is to bottle up your emotions and just pretend as if you always have it together. You see, the Black boy pictured on the right, oh, he was handsome, by the way. While he's smiling and seems happy, he was never given a safe space to express himself emotionally. How can this be damaging to Black boys? Well, the ACLU did a study, the American Civil Liberties Union, that 1 in 3 Black boys would end up in the juvenile system. Now, out of this 1 out of 3, so about 33%, 50%, 1 out of 2 of those boys would end up in the adult penal system. So we can see a connection between emotional safety, right, emotional intelligence, being able to express yourself in effective ways, but also see what happens when you can't express yourself. It can lead Black boys to making decisions that affect their own lives and the lives of others. What about from the mental health perspective? The Suicide Prevention Research Center, they did a study. They found that the suicide rates amongst Black males in particular has risen faster than any other racial group in the last 20 years. In fact, ages 10 through 19, we saw a 60% increase. They found that Black youth were twice as likely to take their own life by suicide than their white counterparts. So we can see, again, from the mental health perspective, where we are affected by the lack of having that emotional safety. Now, you might ask, Justin, well, your title is about Black men. Why are you talking so much about Black boys? It's because before we become men, we were boys. And many of us boys were raised perhaps by no father at all, or some, if we had a father who too was raised by a father who did not give him that emotional safety to be able to open up and show vulnerability. So it's a generational curse in the Black community that all Black men are suffering from in one way or another. How can we expect Black men and Black boys to want to open up and show vulnerability in our society if they are in fear of how they'll be viewed? I want to give you guys a quick example. You see on this slide here, Michael Jordan. Everyone knows Michael. Even if you're a casual basketball fan, you've heard of the name Michael Jordan. Has the famous basketball shoe, maybe the greatest NBA player to ever play. And you've seen this photo as a meme. Perhaps your favorite team loses on Sunday Night Football, and you see this meme show up, right? Well, I want to give you some background on where this comes from. In 2009, about 14 years ago, Michael Jordan was inaugurated into the Basketball Hall of Fame as one of the greatest to ever play. And he's sitting in front of an audience, giving a speech. He sees former teammates, coaches, colleagues, his family, his children. And in that moment, while he's reflecting on how much this means to him, he starts to cry. Today, society uses that photo of him at one of his greatest accomplishments as a Black man to mock him for it. But further, wait, just a few years ago, Kobe Bryant, another popular name that you no doubt have heard of, he passed away tragically in an accident along with his daughter and several others. Now, Michael Jordan and Kobe, they were really tight. Brother, little brother, mentor, mentee. Kobe emulated Michael Jordan's game. And so in Los Angeles, Michael is asked to speak on behalf of Kobe and his family. And while speaking, the picture on your right is him crying again. But this time it was interesting. He stopped himself and he says, I don't want to be another meme. And he laughs, and the whole crowd laughs. But do you see the problem? A successful billionaire Black man who's done so many things for his community and for his sport is being ridiculed and afraid of being ridiculed on one of his happiest days and on one of his saddest days. That's the problem. with society and how black men are viewed. If I was just any old black man, I see them doing that to Michael, what will they do to little old me? There's no doubt why many black men closet their feelings, their emotions, and they walk around with so much trauma, saying that they're okay, but really, they're not. So what's the solution? See, even if nothing changes about our circumstances, right? Nothing may change about what I'm dealing with, but the fact that in that time of need, I felt support, I felt love, I felt brotherhood, it could be the difference between someone deciding to end their life and deciding to keep going. See, it's organizations like Black Men Heal and many others who are doing the work in the community to help heal our black men. Now, you might be wondering, how can I support black men today? Well, of course, support organizations like this and others that are doing the work, whether locally or on a national level. But you can do much to help heal a black man. Can you listen? Can you show up for us? Listen without gaslighting. Listen without judgment. Listen to understand the plight of a black man. Create safe spaces for us to show that vulnerability without fear of being judged. Affirm a black man not for what he provides or what he does, but rather for who he is. Show him that it's okay not to be okay. We need your support. In conclusion, to my black brothers in the audience and those listening back on a replay, congratulations, because you are still here. See, statistically, we're not supposed to have made it this far. The odds were stacked against us, but we've survived what we've gone through. I want to remind you, brothers, that you are loved, that you are enough. See, society places value on us as men, as black men, based off of what we do for a living, how much money is in our account, what we drive. But I want to remind you, brothers, that there is value just in you existing. I want to remind you, black man, that you were loved and you were here. Please join me in continuing to support the plight of black boys and black men everywhere so that we can one day feel safe to express vulnerability, to express our emotions, yes, to freely feel, so that then the healing can begin. Thank you.